Wat saket ratchaworamahawihan. Wat saket, the Temple of the Golden Mount, which is located outside the old Ratchaworamahawihan Island area of Bangkok, is one of the city's oldest temples. During the Ayutthaya period, which lasted until 1767, the temple was referred to as Wat Saket, but by the order of King Rama I, the temple was restored and renamed Wat Saket Ratchaworamahawihan. The structure of Wat Saket is distinct because of the 60-meter-high mountain called Phukhaofong, meaning Golden Mountain, where the temple's main gilded keti or stupa rests. This mountain, formed from the debris of a collapsed keti commissioned to be built by King Rama III, was once the highest point in all of Bangkok. The Golden Mountain is a well-known and much-revered landmark in Bangkok. The climb to the top of the mount is a journey of more than 300 steps. Near the base of the steps is an unusual cemetery, overgrown with vines and trees, where the ashes of numerous plague victims of the late 18th century are buried into the base of the Golden Mountain. Because the temple served as the primary crematorium during this dark period in Bangkok's history, the cemetery and its surrounding neighborhood became known as Ghost Gate. Wat Saket in Bangkok Old Town is an Ayutthaya shrine with a gleaming gold keti in Bangkok. Also called the Golden Mount, it occupies an 80-meter-tall man-made hill that was built during the reign of King Rama III. The temple welcomes worshippers year-round, though it's busiest during its annual temple fair in November during Loikrathon. The temple grounds have mature trees and typical Buddhist strictures such as a main prayer hall, ordination hall, and library. Wat Saket was the capital's crematorium and the dumping ground for some 60,000 plague victims in the late 18th century. At the base of the Golden Mount, you'll find an unusual cemetery covered in vines and overgrown trees. It emits a rather spooky out-of-air vibe. Once you arrive at the top of Wat Saket, you'll be surrounded by a wall of bells and panoramas of Bangkok Old Town. Temple fair at the Golden Mount. Following an annual Buddha relic worshipping ceremony, Wat Saket hosts an enormous temple fair during Loikrathong, usually in November. During this period, the massive stupa is draped in a bright red cloth, with a candlelit procession to the top of the Golden Mount marking the start of the week-long festivity. Colorful lanterns and decorative flags, as well as food vendors, fairground games, and rides bring Wat Saket to life. Huge crowds pack the temple grounds from early evening to midnight for the entire week. Plan to go as early as possible to avoid a long queue to the Golden Mount. Nestled in the Pumprap Satrufai district lies the Wat Saket Golden Mount, a Buddhist temple dating back over 300 years. A landmark of the city, every year countless tourists and locals alike seek out the temple for its history, beauty, and spiritual significance. Situated at the top of the most prominent hill in Bangkok, the site is made even more striking by its incredible coloring, architecture, and layout. Hidden within its walls are centuries worth of stories, all within reach of any visitor curious enough to make their way up its 300 steps. The Golden Mount is a sacred pilgrimage site during the week-long worshipping period in November. Getting to the top requires a climb up some 300 steps that encircle the keti like a loosely coiled snake. The well-paved path is relatively easy to tackle, especially if you visit early in the day or during mild climate in Bangkok. Vocabularies about Wat Saket. Golden Mount. Ratchaworamahawihan Island. King Rama I. King Rama III. Golden Keti. Cemetery. Belief. Buddha relics. Loikrathong. Pay respects. Buddhist. Precept. Make merit. Lent candle. Make by Mr. Nattapong Khanchalee CG2. 3 number 10 Mr. Siraroj Sukthiam CG2. 3 number 24 Mr. Supakrit Janthorng CG2. 3 number 25. Contact information.